Hey guys, what's up and welcome to or back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons about go-go dancing. If you guys are new here, my name is Danny. I'm a performance artist based in Dallas, Texas, and I make a lot of videos geared towards go-go dancers, aerialists, basically anyone in the performance/entertainment industry, so make sure to follow and check out my other videos. And really quick guys, before we get into the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Amy Clubwear for this super duper cute romper. I will make sure to link it in the video description just in case anyone loves it as much as I do. I feel like you can't even see it that good, so let me do a little modeling for y'all real quick. Ew. But yeah. You know, I'm usually not I don't wear such loud, bright colors really, but I'm actually digging it. It's giving very summery vibes, lemonade vibes. I just want to sip on a lemonade while I wear this. So as someone who has been in the industry for 12 years now, I think I have a pretty good idea about the pros and the cons about go-go dancing. So let's get into it. I think I'll start off with the pros. And take note that these pros and cons are my personal preference. So some of my pros may actually be cons to you or vice versa. So I'm just going to share my personal pros and cons. One of the pros is that usually go-go shifts are pretty short, anywhere from literally 1 hour to maybe 5 hours max. So it's definitely a good side job to have if you already have a part-time or full-time job. I really like that the shifts are pretty short, so I don't have to commit to an 8-hour work day, work gig. The scheduling is pretty flexible. So for my club residencies, we pretty much just send in our availability and then we get scheduled based upon our availability. So say that I wanted to take an entire month off to go travel, I could literally do that and not be penalized for it or anything. So the flexibility is a major plus for someone like me who likes to travel, who likes to take time off whenever. So another pro is the money, honey. We make pretty good money as a go-go dancer. In one of my previous videos, I actually broke down exactly how much I had made as a go-go dancer. I think it was a 6-month time frame. If you guys want to check out that video to get a better idea of how much realistically we actually make. But I would say you can ideally make $100 or so hourly as a go-go, and I think that's pretty good. You know, sometimes I make more, but for the most part, on average, $100 minimum is what I am usually making. Go-go dancing also definitely keeps me in shape, which is a major plus for me because I personally do not like going to the gym and working out. I get really bored at the gym. So dancing is definitely a fun, creative outlet for me, where it also benefits me because I'm getting a good workout in and, keeps me in shape. So getting paid to work out and do something that I already like doing, it's just a no-brainer for me. Super pro. And did I mention that this job is super fun? Literally after 12 years I have not gotten tired of go-go dancing yet, and that's funny to say considering how tiring dancing is. You'd think that I'd be sick and tired of it already, but I am not. If anything, my love just grows even more and more for go-go dancing. But yeah, super fun job. I mean, you get to dress up, creatively express yourself through dance, work really cool, fun events sometimes. Yeah, I don't ever really feel myself getting bored. I mean, sometimes when nights are slow, but in comparison to a regular job, way more fun. With go-go dancing, I've had the ability to meet so many people and network, and I've made so many friends along the way, probably people that I'm really close friends with now, and I've developed like probably 10-year long relationships with them, are people that I've met at the club dancing. Like either they're there as a customer or like they're one of my coworkers. So yeah, you just are exposed to so many different types of people while working whatever type of event you might be working as a go-go dancer. So that's definitely a pro. I know I was just raving about meeting new people, but another pro, in my opinion, as a go-go dancer is that you don't really have to interact or deal with people. For example, like if I was a cocktail waitress or a bartender or a manager at a nightclub, I would be running around like crazy the entire night, talking to customers, dealing with their problems, shoving through people, trying to get drinks, or, doing whatever it is I need to do. As a go-go dancer, I'm literally just dancing on my stage or platform, whatever. And for the most part, I really don't interact with people while I'm up there performing. Sometimes I choose to on my breaks, like walk around and talk to people. Or if people like briefly come up to me and say hi, but it's nothing too lengthy or draining because in my opinion, I find myself a little bit more introverted and I prefer not to engage with people too much during work. I find it really draining. So, yeah, major plus for me. Honestly, like sometimes I'll just zone out while I'm doing my thing up there. And yeah, I find that really, really nice. It's like, yes, you're in a hectic environment, such as a nightclub or like other type of event, concert, whatever it may be, but I don't feel so anxious and overwhelmed in that environment because I'm like up and away doing my own thing. I don't have to deal with any BS really. So, pro. And last but not least on the pro is that I get to do what I love. I love dancing. And the fact that I get to get paid for doing it is just like, phew, why would I choose not to, If I wasn't getting paid to dance professionally, I would literally just be dancing at home for free. Let's be real. So I feel very happy, fulfilled, and blessed to be able to make a living off of what I love to do. Major, major pro for me. All right, I'm sure there's other pros, but that's pretty much all that's coming to mind right now. So let's move on to cons. And yes, there are cons when it comes to go-go dancing. Unfortunately, it's not all rainbows and butterflies and magic in the go-go dancing world. Sometimes there is some really sucky things that come along with it. So let's get into it. First con for me is the late hours. That might be a pro for some people depending on their situation, but for me it's a major con because I just don't like to be up all night and working all night. Sometimes I have after hours gigs too, and I'll be working until 4:30, 5 in the morning, which means I don't get home till like 5:30, 6 in the morning, which means I don't go to bed till like 7 a.m. and then I sleep all day and I feel really groggy and just, I hate it. Like, I'm gonna share one of my deepest, darkest fantasies with you guys, and it's so lame. It's literally that I wish that I had a normal schedule and a normal sleep schedule, like a sane, boring schedule. That's what I want in my life. Unfortunately, go-go dancing is just so all over the place and sporadic, different hours, most of the time late hours. So that's just unfortunately one of the downsides that come with it, but we got to make our sacrifices. Another con is that it can be a very heavy party environment, especially if you're working nightclubs. Lots of drinking, sometimes drugs, so just keep that in mind if you're debating getting into go-go dancing, and if that's like a sensitive topic for you, just know that you might be surrounded by those types of things. And that's definitely not to say that you need to do those things to be a go-go dancer, absolutely not, but just know that you're going to be surrounded in that environment where people are doing those things, and maybe they might try to peer pressure you. Like customers all the time try to get me drinks or try to get me to like drink out of the bottle, and I'm actually sober at the moment. I've been sober I think for about 2 months, a little over 2 months, and for the most part people have been pretty respectful about it. Like when I turn drinks down at the club, I just tell people like, no, I don't drink, sorry. um, and they're usually pretty respectful about it. So if you are also sober and you want to be a go-go dancer, then I don't think you should have a problem really. But sometimes just being around drunk people can be annoying. Honestly, like just being in that party environment when you're not really a party person, it's just like ew sometimes, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so another con would be that sometimes you have to deal with drunk and rude customers. I've had people throw drinks at me. I've had people place and spill their drinks on my stage. I've had people try to fight me. I've had people just be super duper rude. And I don't think being drunk is even an excuse sometimes to be acting that way. But yeah, just be prepared. Most of the time they do have like bouncers there to deal with that. But yeah, I've definitely had some people try me before. Um, yeah. So definitely a con, but for the most part, I'm able to like find my zen and not go off on people. I think I'm just so used to it now after doing it for 12 years that I'm just like, it doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm just so quick to like get the bouncer and be like, get these people out of here. All right, another con is that sometimes certain businesses or venues can be a little shady and or unsafe. And what I mean by shady is like just the way that they do business. Like I've had people try to not pay me, try to pay me less, just go about things very, very unprofessionally, and like they can get away with it because it's not like working a normal job. Unfortunately, like it sucks to say that, but I feel like sometimes they just be doing whatever they want and acting the way that they want because they know that they can. Um, and unsafe. Sometimes these venues are in unsafe areas where there is a lot of intoxicated people who are, I don't know, crazy and angry. You never know. So that's definitely a con. I always try to get like an employee, bouncer, officer to walk me to and from my car whenever I'm working at nightlife venues or just like venues that I've never been to before or that are in like sketchy areas. Okay, another con is that it is a very physically demanding job. Go-go dancing is very high energy type of dancing, and yeah, it's not easy. It's very tiring. It takes some getting used to. I'm obviously used to it by now, especially when I have weekly residencies, but like if I even take a week or 2 weeks off, I am like out of breath when I go back. It definitely takes a lot of conditioning to get used to. Not only is it physically demanding, but like the outfits that we wear, they're not the easiest to dance in sometimes. Like high heels, really constricted outfits, wigs, props. It can definitely make it even more difficult and more physically demanding than it already is. Another huge con for me is that the industry is very, very based on appearance and sometimes people's own personal preference on appearance. So it can definitely come with discrimination or favoritism. For example, certain teams or certain venues may only want to book people who are a specific height, people who have a specific hair color, people who have a specific look, people of a certain color or race. So yeah, I think that's very unfortunate. that that happens, and it makes me really sad because I've come across some super amazing dancers in the industry that just don't get booked as often because of how they may look or people's personal preferences, including myself. Like, I personally don't get booked for specific things because I'm 5'2" and I'm not a super tall supermodel. And sometimes my tattoos too. Like, some clients don't like the tattooed look. They like a very clean cut look. Yeah, I've even had people like straight up to my face be like, oh, the client is looking for, Caucasian women, blonde. And obviously I'm not that. So, and I get it that this industry, like, you're allowed to do that. Clients are allowed to have their, to book what they're looking for. But I feel like when certain teams or venues like make their entire staff according to their personal preference, that's a little unfair in my opinion. So yeah, just know that this industry can definitely be unfair. No matter how talented you are, you might find yourself not getting booked as often because of certain reasons. Maybe you're not a favorite, maybe you don't look a certain way, maybe you're not tall enough, etc. Another major con for me is that sometimes this industry can be super unreliable. Gigs can cancel last minute without any warning. Nightclubs that you have residencies at can just out of nowhere decide to cut the dancers or the entertainers, or they can be like, hey, actually we're closing next week, like out of nowhere. I've had that happen before. Nightclubs in general have a very short lifespan to begin with, probably like a few years. Really successful clubs probably like 5+ years, but for the most part, nightlife is very fast, and like everyone wants to go somewhere new, so places aren't really super popular that long. Like I said, they have a short lifespan. With that being said, don't expect to have a go-go residency for too long. And sometimes it can be stressful when you get cut and, you were relying on that consistent money. So it can definitely be stressful on your finances with how unreliable it is. And that's why I always recommend having go-go dancing as more of a side gig versus like trying to make it a full-time thing. I mean, you definitely can, and I'm not stopping you, but just always try to have other sources of income as well, because go-go dancing definitely can be very unreliable sometimes. Speaking on that topic of like how it can be unreliable, there's also slow months in the entertainment industry, which happens to be January. So I know like at a lot of nightclubs you can make tips, but also know that tips are also unreliable and uncertain. So sometimes money is good, sometimes money is not. And if you're someone who's like, I have to know how much I'm making every day so I can have an idea of like, my finances, then go-go dancing is probably not for you, because, it can really range. I mean, of course you have your set base pay, but like, you're not really going to have a general idea of like how often am I booked this month? I mean, like, you are, but like I said, sometimes people cancel last minute, or, sometimes things come up and it's not really like solidified like an actual job to where, oh, I'm coming to work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, right? You know that, and you're getting paid X amount, so you know how much you're going to make that week. Go-go dancing can be a little unpredictable when it comes to that. All right, my last con is that there can be drama. A lot of drama, and I'm sure every job comes with drama, like even boring jobs, but like there's just something about working in nightlife where there's just constant drama. Fortunately for me, I typically stay out of that drama, but I'm like always listening to other people's drama, and I'm like, damn, there's always some tea going on. And I have had my fair share of drama too, with other dancers, even with managers. Me getting in the middle of other people's drama, like not intentionally, but like people putting me in the middle, and I'm just like, I'm literally just here to work, get paid, have a good time. Like, I don't want no drama. All right, guys, I'm pretty sure there's more pros and cons out there to go-go dancing, but that's like a pretty good list of my personal pros and cons as a go-go dancer, as someone who has been in the industry for a while now. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That way you guys can stay tuned for all my future go-go dancing videos. Love you.